and they'll use all four. Similar in style. They both kind of got enough size and weight to grind a little bit. It'll be hard to get to the net. Should be hard to get to the net for both teams. So it'll be a tight game, but that doesn't mean necessarily a low event team. There's enough skill on both that they're going to get their chances. It's usually, if it's played right by both teams, it's somebody's going to hit the inside of the post instead of the outside, and it'll be one save, and it may get to a special team game, even though there's not necessarily a lot of them. You take the chances you can get.
Any lineup changes for tonight?
Gadjevich comes in, Bobrovsky comes in.
Defensemen all the same?
Correct.
And also just looking at the Stars in particular, what does it mean when you have a team like that that has so many different veterans, guys with 10-plus years league spread throughout the lineup?
And that's what makes them unusual. They're not loaded up. Jamie Benn, I guess, considered the third line. It usually means your young kids have come along early and they've allowed it to happen. I think the Duchesne signing was good for them. That added. Now it took Tyler Seguin, a similar style player. So I think they've got four lines that are somewhat unique. They all look a little bit different. So do ours. So there's a lot of similarities between the two teams.
Looking at Bob, obviously he's off to a great start this year, but it seems like you maybe are asking different things from this year. Obviously your shot suppression's been huge. You might only be facing 23 shots a game compared to 30 plus. So how does that change for him? Obviously less shots against, but probably when there is a shot against him, it's probably a high danger shot.
Well, it should be good. Volume down for the goaltender. It means it's a different mental game for them. There are stretches of time where they don't get the action. But over time, we think it should be good. Not through the end of November, but in October last year, our shot suppression was down. I think it was new for him. But there's nothing really new for Sergei or Stoli now. They know the D-zone coverage. They know where to expect the pucks to come. Now they're comfortable with the penalty kill. They understand where the pucks are coming to the net. So I think there's a greater level of familiarity in terms of expectation of where the puck's coming from.
I mean, how important is Sasha Barkov to limiting those shots? Because he looks like he's been, even more so than years past, like all over the place in the slot.
Yeah, he's faster. He's just quicker. He's leaned down. Not that he carried much, but you'll find that as a player ages, that old man strength comes in. They don't carry as much weight, and he's faster this year. His brain has always been, I think, even more skewed to the Selke side than the goal-scoring side. So he's getting the pucks, knocking pucks down. The penalty kill, he and Sam Reinhart, their numbers are really, really good. And Sam, in part, is playing with Sam Reinhart. He's such a brilliant defensive reader of the game that the two of them are a great complement to each other. But Barkov on face-offs as well is so important to us.
And it seems like Evan Rodriguez also gets into it down low, too, to make that whole line really back end.
Yeah, Evan's there, and he's got we need somebody who's got good enough hands to be able to complete some plays. But where we're trying to develop that game of Evans is into kind of an intensity game, and I'm not talking about running people over. I'm talking about getting to pucks and causing disruptions all over the ice that those two other men can read and jump on and create. So he's got a good enough set of hands to make plays. I mean, I think he probably came into the league being viewed as a skilled player, so it's there. But we're trying to add a piece to his game, almost akin to different styles, but Carter Verhaeghe, kind of the same idea. His strength is that playoff game that he plays when he's on the puck. So we're kind of, it took us 4 months as a team to get a handle on it last year. It's going to take our new guys 4 months to get a handle on it, but we think there's something there once they do.
Paul, you said before the stretch of 3 straight losses at home, just the importance of establishing home ice, the atmosphere here. We're in the middle, approaching the middle of December now. How important is it to reestablish?
Yeah, I think so. I just don't think that we've necessarily lost it. So it doesn't feel like it's certainly to our fans it may feel that way, but we played 2 at home and then we went on the road. So there hasn't been a homestand. Really liked 2 of the 3. We played well against Boston, and I thought in this first period especially, Allmark was the difference. And then, I don't know, we're going to do much more than beat a goalie against the Island. We put up 93 shot attempts. So I'm not feeling that there's a concern. We weren't very against Winnipeg. That would have been true if we had played on the moon. So it's important. At the end of the day, we like the way we play. We think we got a fun style to watch. We play hard, but we don't cheat the game. And because of that, we got great crowds. we want to keep that, right? If you're coming to the rink and you're cheering for the Panthers, we want to give you lots of reasons to cheer and come back to the rink because we win more games when there's more Florida Panther fans in the building. It feels different. So we want to be good. We owe it to our fans to put on not so much a show, a good event for them to come and be proud of the team that they support. That part's important. But I'm not worried about the block of losses like our game has slipped at home. That's not happening. But we do want to make sure our fans, get into the car in a good mood.
What we saw on the Canadian road trip, and I was talking to Aaron, I asked Lomberg the same thing, is this the type of play that you want from your team, to be physical and have that playoff style of hockey right now?
For exactly what we're trying to build here. We're trying to develop a game that we can play in the playoffs. We did last year. It took us a while to get there, and then it has to be reestablished. So the only thing we would measure, if you're asking a question on something that you see on video, are we doing that in the playoffs? Because if we're not, there's no point in having it in our game. And then when you play at that intensity, and then you'll get into games that'll blow up a little bit. Because the regular season, when we go into Ottawa was struggling, right? There's a tremendous amount of pressure because the team wasn't winning. So it didn't take long before that thing heated up. Toronto, we've got a little something going on with Toronto. That's playoff rivalries, right? That's what's awesome. You get into the playoffs year over year, and you end up having a real intense playoff round to carry next year, all of those games. So there'll be people that watch the Boston series that won't miss a Boston game. Same with Toronto, same with Carolina, maybe even Vegas. So there's people that were here last year that were a part of it, and when that team comes to town, you have more big games during the year, and if you got a good team, you get excited about those games.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Coach Paul, thank you.